Hello, and welcome back to the C Morning Show right here on C Today. So here with me is somebody so special. She is a chef, and her name is Cheryl. So she is going to help us to cook yummy menu for today. Since it's, Sunday, and obviously you are not going to go to work, the kids are in the house already. They need something special for today to eat. Okay, so Chef Cheryl, good morning.
Hello.
So you like to be called just Cheryl, right?
Yeah,
Without
just
the
Cheryl.
Okay.
Without the title, it's fine. Just call me Cheryl.
Cheryl,
Hello.
okay.
Thank you for having me today.
Okay, it's a pleasure for us. Okay, so before we, jump into the recipe, I want to know, so what was, the bag loving to cook?
So basically, it's just for the love for cooking.
Right.
And then back where I was growing up, I always cook for my family as well.
Right.
And then just like today is going to be another Sunday of a comfort food, something simple and easy, but of course it's going to taste just as delicious.
There you go. So she is going to teach us here on this very special segment of You Masak.
Hey.
Okay, so we are going to cook. Now, before that, you're going to, guide us with the recipe and also the ingredients.
Yeah, of course. So I'm gonna go through all of the ingredients. Today we'll be cooking chicken adobo.
Chicken adobo, right? Okay, so chicken adobo is from the Philippines.
It
Okay,
is.
why is it so special about?
I think every country, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but every country always have this one comfort dish. For
Right.
example, in Indonesia, I would say soto.
Right.
You have like every province, you have like each soto that represent each province.
Right.
Same with Philippines. The comfort food is chicken adobo, and every household, every area of Philippines, they do have their version of chicken adobo.
Right, so this is like the comfort food.
The comfort food
Right.
of the Philippines.
Okay,
Yeah.
so guide us now.
Okay, so of course, for the chicken adobo, we'll be needing some chicken. I would recommend to use chicken thighs
Right.
on the bones because we love some flavors from the bones.
Right.
And then,
Fat.
yeah, of course. And then we are going to marinate this with simple ingredients that you can always find in your pantry, which is good about this recipe. So we'll be needing some soy sauce.
Right.
Just a regular soy sauce, and then vinegar.
Right.
I would recommend to use rice vinegar instead of white vinegar because the taste is it's more subtle. It's not just like there on your face compared to the white vinegar. And then what plays a big part of what makes chicken adobo is the brown sugar. But then of course we're going to use palm sugar for that extra flavor. We'll be using some garlic, a little bit of ginger, bay leaf, and then peppercorns.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the ingredient itself, it's actually very easy. It's accessible anywhere. And then, yeah, I'm gonna
So you you can go start, and that with all the ingredients that you just mentioned, and we need to marinate it for how long?
Okay, so for the marination itself, it really depends on your preference. Again, there's no right and wrong, but then what's good about this recipe that you can actually prep ahead.
Yes.
So for example, you'll be needing it in Sunday morning like today, and then you can do this yesterday night, on a Saturday night, and then you can marinate it and then just cook it straight away in the morning.
Perfect.
Yeah, but just, you can just cook it straight away, but of course with marination, you can absorb more flavor, and then the idea of adobo means marinate.
Right. So here's the idea. Why don't you just prep it now and then cook it, for you at home. You want to cook it for lunch or dinner for today. And then if you still have, a little bit left of the chicken that you can't really cook for today, just toss it inside the freezer. And then there you go. Tomorrow you don't need to cook again, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
Do this.
So I'm going to put equal amount of soy sauce and vinegar.
Right.
Just to cover.
Rice vinegar.
Yep.
Right it goes. Right.
And then just gonna put that aside.
That.
And I'm gonna put some garlic.
Garlic.
Crush some garlic.
Yep. You want to crush it?
Sure.
Right.
So easy.
So you don't need to slice it.
Yeah, you just gonna keep it or roughly chop it. Fine.
Right.
You don't need really fine. And then we'll be needing some onion for
Right.
later use.
So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that like 5 pieces of chicken? Do we have like 5 or 6, right?
Yeah.
About that. So you're using 3 garlics.
Yes, 3 garlics for about like 500 to 700 grams of worth of chicken.
Right. Okay. So, okay. So you're gonna chop it roughly.
Just gonna chop it roughly.
Right.
And like crush it a little bit with the back of your knife. Just roughly chop. Again, it's something that you can do very finely. I would say in a formal fine dining restaurant, you can like dice the garlic really finely. But then again, this is comfort food at home. You can do it,
Yeah, if you have spare
whatever
time,
you want it.
you can just like chop it finely. That would be fine, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Toss it in.
The garlic's in, and then a little bit of ginger.
A little bit of ginger, right? Okay.
There you go.
So that's about like what? About 4 or 5 centimeters of ginger, right?
Yeah, maybe about like 3. Yeah.
Right.
Around that, and then you can just slice it just for extra flavor.
There you go. Okay.
Well, the ginger, maybe I want it. Oh, actually, I like it like this.
Perfect. Right.
So that you can see it later on without biting on the ginger,
Right,
like
yeah.
jackpot.
Sometimes that could be a booby trap, right? Okay,
Yeah.
So ginger is in.
So
What
we
else?
do have soy sauce,
Rice
vinegar, garlic,
and also
ginger. And then I'm gonna use palm sugar.
Palm sugar, right. So we're just gonna use half of it, or...
Yeah, half of the palm sugar.
Right.
And
so
then
chicken adobo is tell me about it. So is it like, the taste is more sour, or is it more sweet, or is it just, balance, a combination?
Okay, so for the chicken adobo itself, I would actually describe this dish as something sweet because it will be like quite sweet and sticky at the end.
Right.
But then again, we're putting vinegar, which is acid, and then there will be like quite an obvious tanginess to it.
Right.
And then a balance of umami as well from the garlic and the aromatics that we'll be putting as well. So it's a little bit of everything. I think this dish is actually very interesting because if you compare it with Indonesian soy chicken, for example, it's more on the sweeter side, where they don't really play with the tanginess, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
Well, similar, yeah. I was like thinking, this reminds me for the ayam ketchup.
yeah,
Right.
ayam ketchup, that's what we
Ketchup.
call it.
Right. Okay. So we've got the palm sugar,
Palm sugar's
half
in.
of it, right?
Yep.
And then what else do we need?
And then I'm gonna put a little bit of the spring onion.
Right.
And then we're gonna reserve some as well for garnish.
Okay.
Yep.
So later we are going to cook it on the pan. We're going to fry it, or we're just going to...
Okay, so for the chicken adobo later on, after we marinate it, we're going to pan sear the chicken first.
Okay.
So that it's nice and brown and caramelized from the sugar, from the soy
Right.
sauce.
So I'll help you with this one. You can turn on the heat there.
Awesome.
So how much do you need for
Okay.
this one?
So I think...
Do you need like a fine chopped, or...
not just roughly. I like it so that it's obvious later on.
Right,
Have
like
it?
this?
Yeah.
This is good.
That's
Okay, I'm just
good.
trying not to cut my gloves here too. Right.
And then
Okay.
for the marination, I'm just gonna massage it a little bit. Again, you can
Right.
always marinate and leave this in the fridge for overnight, or like just cook it straight away as well.
Is this good, Cheryl? Just put it inside?
Yeah, just
right?
put it inside.
There you go.
Awesome.
Look at that. Look at that. I'm sure the flavor is going to be awesome.
Yeah, and then not forgetting about the peppercorn.
Right.
I'm just gonna switch my glove real quick because we're just handling a raw chicken. Okay.
So when are we going to put the bay leaf? When
So-
we're like,
The bay
sear?
leaf, later on when we're going to braise the
right.
chicken.
Okay.
So that, okay, the peppercorn, you can keep it as a whole, traditionally, but then you can always crack it as well.
Right.
Yeah,
There you go.
there you go. I'm using black peppercorn today, but you can just use a normal, the brownish one, peppercorn
Yes.
one. Yeah.
Right,
And
what
then
else?
I will start to just combine everything again and then start searing the chicken.
Right. Is it heated already? It's preheated?
It is. It is.
Yes.
We want it pretty hot so that once the chicken hit the pan, it becomes like nice,
It has
caramelized
that sizzling sound,
and a little
right?
bit of like crispiness later
Right.
on.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So, chicken adobo. So what do you pair chicken adobo with?
Okay, traditionally, of course, I would say this would be very nice on a fluffy white rice.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's like the classic.
Always
But then
the
nowadays, people really like to eat this one with anything, like even fried rice.
Right.
They do have this called adobo silok. Silok means adobo for the protein cooked in adobo,
All
which
right,
is marinated.
okay.
And then silok, sinagang means fried rice.
Right.
Lok from itlok means egg. So it's basically chicken, fried rice, and a fried egg.
Oh,
as a
there you
dish.
go.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
could
a
be
complete set.
like a complete breakfast set for the Philippines.
Okay. So it's heated already?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put a little bit of oil.
Oil, and it goes, right? There you go. So, you know, this is just, you know, a random question. If we don't have any chickens, and can we like substitute this so-called chicken adobo with
Yeah.
any protein, such as what?
Of course. So it's very common in the Philippines to cook this with pork as well. So they
Right.
do love pork adobo. Or if you're vegetarian, you can always use any kind of veggie or even tofu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tofu adobo, that would be good.
And then they do have dish called adobo takwa, means tofu adobo.
Oh,
So
there you go.
the marination itself is basically soy sauce, vinegar, and you can use any protein as you wish.
Okay.
Even broccoli, cauliflower, eggplants.
Ooh, eggplant, I like.
And mushroom. Mushroom will be so
Oh,
good
mushroom,
with this
that would
dish.
be a very good idea.
Okay, this
Okay.
is sizzling hot now.
Yep.
And then I'm
It's
going to sear it. And then I'm using the skin today, and then I'm just going to put the skin down.
Right. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear that sizzle?
Yes. Oh, look at the color. Look at that. Flavors everywhere.
So for the chicken itself, I'm cutting the parts of chicken thigh so it's not as big, you know?
Right.
And I'm just gonna cut it, the whole chicken thigh to 3.
Right.
But if you want it smaller, you can always cut it for like smaller pieces
course.
to 4 to 5. It depends on your preference.
Right.
And then again, I'm just gonna sear it.
Oh, yes. So, later on, you are going to flip the chicken. So on each side, we are going to wait just for how many minutes?
So approximately about like 2 to 3 minutes.
Right.
And then I would suggest to play it in high heat because you want that color,
Yes.
the caramel color
Yep.
on the exterior, and then we can flip it. And then the most important part is that we reserve the marinade liquid,
Right.
and then later on we're gonna like put it
Put the gravy
there,
inside there, right? Okay.
and then let it braise, let
Right.
it marinate.
Okay. So I have a thong here for you if you want to use that,
Thank
or
you.
prefer to use the spatula.
Yeah, I think
Tongs
for
would be
now
fine.
tongs is good.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put a little bit of water inside the marinade liquid.
Gravy, right?
And then I think we have quite a bit of chicken here, and then I'm gonna make some more marination liquid.
Okay.
It's just the same principle, equal amount of soy sauce per with rice vinegar.
Rice vinegar, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is actually to have that liquidy form of the gravy, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
because when you braise it, you want to at least cover the chicken
Right.
later on.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Look
perfect.
at that.
Look at that. Like
Look
the
at
color.
that. Okay.
Beautiful. Right.
We want it a little bit brown like that.
Right. Yes.
Okay, so it's interesting how I would compare this with ayam ketchup.
Right.
Ayam ketchup, Indonesian soy sauce. The difference is actually on the soy sauce itself.
Right.
If ayam ketchup, we will use the thick Indonesian ketchup manis.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Whereas this one, the soy sauce is liquidy. It's more like not as sweet. But then again, the additional of palm sugar gonna give it a little bit of dimension to the flavor.
Of course.
And then somehow the outcome, you know, it'll be different than the ayam kecap.
Since you're like adding more gravy to it, more liquid to the dish itself, now it reminds me of semur ayam.
Oh, yeah.
Right, because
It is.
ayam, it has like, you know, that brownish color of the chicken itself, and then the liquidy part, the gravy part is also there, so it's similar to this one.
Yeah.
Oh, go look at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful color.
Okay.
Right.
You want that brown color so that
It's the crisp.
that's the flavor, everyone. And again, if you don't have a skillet, you can always use a slow cooker.
Yes.
And just leave it as it is, and then you sear it, and then you just leave it for like long hours, and then once you open it, the chicken will be so tender.
Okay.
And this is, you know, I really love this recipe. Very, you know, stress-free.
It is.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious, when are we going to put the onions and also the bay leaf?
Good question. So the onion is actually, I can put it like right now, because we know like one side is already brown, and then the other side, they are starting
halfway
to
cooked
browning
already,
as well.
Okay.
The reason why I'm putting the onion now, not before, because onion contains quite a bit of water that, you know, if you put it earlier on, the chicken, it won't reach the brown exterior.
Want, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm just gonna put it now. We're putting about like half of sliced onion.
Right.
And then here goes the
3
bay leaves as
right?
well. I'm gonna use fresh bay leaves. I'm gonna squish it a bit.
There you go.
Yeah. Then we're just gonna wait for a little bit before we're putting this one.
Is this fun? Rosemary?
So this one is still, I like the presentation of it, and then
So we're not going to use
we're
that.
gonna use this for garnish later
Okay,
on.
for garnishing, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, the studio, it smells beautiful.
I know, I'm so hungry by
Okay.
just cooking this.
Right, look at that. So you want the onions to be, you know,
Like
a little bit
translucent.
translucent.
Yeah,
right.
translucent is good. And then again, we are going to cook this one later on with the marination liquid.
Right, with the
Yeah.
baby, right, okay. So we're still waiting for that one. So, okay, Cheryl, tell me about, you know, so your background of schooling or college or uni, is it related to cooking?
It is actually,
It's
but it's
related.
more like culinary business.
Right.
So I took my degree back in New Zealand.
Right.
That's where I started actually exploring as well. What is a comfort dish for me? Because I
Right.
do really miss home a lot.
Right.
And Asian food is not very accessible there, so I have to learn to cook more of a comfort food.
Right.
And although I took my degree in a more in a fine cuisine, you know, like very plated kind of like French cuisine.
Right.
I do still love cooking comfort food compared to like a, you know, French fine dining kind of.
Right. So, you know, what's, you know, the major differences that you can actually tell us? Because, you know, not everyone likes, like, you know, home cooking like this. They prefer like fine dining, fine food, right? So what's the major differences?
So for me, I believe good food needs to be shared. I'm not saying that in a formal restaurant or in fine dining they don't share their food. They do share their food, but it's more in a, you know, they're not only selling the food, but selling the atmosphere. They're selling the experience,
The plating.
the plating. But then again, you know, nothing's better than a Sunday morning. You just cook chicken adobo in your kitchen, and then your house just starts smelling like it.
I know. I mean,
And
the
then-
studio smells
Yeah, and everyone's just gonna be like gather around the table and just eat it together, you know?
Of course.
I love the idea that better than eating in a formal dining restaurant.
Okay. So, yeah, it's, look at that. That's beautiful, right? So it's
Alright.
getting,
It's the onion now is starting to brown a little bit. That's the
so
sign.
they're tender now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so,
And then the bay leaves also becomes a little bit translucent.
right.
This is where we are going to cover the chicken.
Right. Okay, so you don't pour the gravy right in. So you have to see the consistency of the chicken itself and also the onions and also the bay leaves, right?
And later on, you just want to cover it with the liquid like this and let it simmer.
Right. Okay, so The consistency of the liquid or the gravy itself is going to be thick or semi-thick or...
Again, preference, but then some people believe that a good chicken adobo is the one that you kind of like cover the back of your spoon.
Right.
A very shiny, thick glaze where it's like the liquid's reduced.
Right.
And that's where we get it from the soy sauce and the palm sugar. But then, yeah, again, I prefer the thicker side.
On the thicker side, okay. So to get that thick side that you just mentioned, we are going to cook that for another 3-4 minutes?
Okay, so this is where the patient gonna plays a role, like a big part.
There, yep.
Because we're going to leave it uncovered for a good amount of time,
Right.
for 10 minutes, and then we're gonna cover it for further 20 minutes.
Right.
Because again, we're cooking with chickens on the bone, and it's gonna take some time for the chicken to cook through.
Okay.
That's why we have to sit down and just wait. But then luckily today I already have some that has been reducing for quite some time, but then I'm going to reduce it a little bit more.
Right. Okay. There you go. I'll help you with that one. So I'll just put it here. There you go. Okay.
So this one is...
I can see the gravy. It's thicker compared to this one. That's true, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you add chili to that, so it's gonna give, you know, that
A little bit of spiciness, and also the color is very nice for presentation.
It is very beautiful, right? Okay. So may I help you with the garnishing? Do you have the plate for garnish? Is it going to be this one?
Yep. So the garnish, it will be this one right here.
Ooh.
And then we're gonna serve it on top of a lovely white rice.
Nice. There you go.
Later on, we can just put the chicken.
Right.
And then wait for this one to reduce down for a little bit more.
Right.
And then again, once it's reduced, you know, because there's so much liquid, we put some water, sugar, and other things before. We want to give it a final taste. This is where we can adjust again. Is it, you know, is it tangy enough? Is it sweet enough? Or is it salty enough? So I'm gonna let you be the judge and taste it. And let me know if it needs more of the soy sauce, vinegar. So yeah, I really like this dish because it's very forgiving, you know.
I like you. You know, you come here and then you're doing the cooking. I'm going to do the tasting. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, please, please.
Okay. So, well, can I taste it now or?
Yeah, but be careful because it's quite piping hot. So
Right.
give it a try. If you need to adjust it with more soy sauce, with more peppercorns.
Right. Okay.
And then I'm going to prepare for the garnish.
I like this one.
Yeah?
Perfect. It's perfect.
Yum.
For me, you don't need to add anything else. It's just right. I like that. So
Okay.
what are you going to do with that one?
Okay, so this one, because we already cooked this down for quite some time, and all of the onions and, you know, the green onions as well kind of dissolve. And I strained some as well before. We want to put more color back to the dish. That's why we're putting the fresh green onion. And then just going to give it a stir. Wait for a little bit. And then we can serve it on top of the rice.
Right.
Yeah.
Go. So I'll just help you with this one. Put it aside here. So actually, you're going to pour the chicken into the bowl, right? Okay. Okay.
That's how it is.
Hey. Ooh. Since since it's Sunday, and if you're still learning how to cook, obviously, you know, the newly cookers can actually do this because I think it is quite simple. How about you?
Yes, I agree.
There you go.
Like I said before, you can always swap this one to any other proteins that you wish.
Okay.
And then very forgiving dish. So for example, oh my God, I put too much vinegar. I put too much soy sauce. You can always fix it anytime.
Right.
And then to note, because this liquid reduced down quite a bit, what if this too salty? You can always put a little bit more water back in
Right.
and reduce it a little bit more.
Of course. Okay.
So again-
it's easy to, correct it, right?
And
Okay.
then, addition to that, actually, chicken adobo is better to eat the day after.
The day after what? Because it
Like
absorbs all the flavor. right?
more. Yeah.
Right, there you go.
You know, people always say like takeaway tastes better when it's, eaten like the next day.
Right.
Same thing with chicken adobo.
There
You can prep ahead, or would be a great idea for a prep meal throughout the week.
Yeah.
Because you can put this in the freezer, in the fridge. Probably in the fridge it will last around 3 days,
Right.
and then the freezer it can last up to like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Pull it out, reheat it. There you go.
So we're almost done there.
Almost done. The liquid has been reduced. And then I'm just gonna, because I took out some of the bay leaves before, I'm just gonna take this one out for presentation later on. So it really shows like, oh, this is chicken adobo, it has bay leaves, it has chilies, it has the green onions.
Right, so I think it's cooked already.
Yeah.
And now Cheryl is going to do the plating. So, okay, so this is the technique. I want to, actually have a look at how you are going to do the technique together.
Yeah. And as you can see now, it's very kind of like glazy. It's coating the chicken.
Yep.
And this is what we want. And since this is a comfort meal, there's no correct way how you plate it. I like to just serve it on top of a white rice.
Yes. Ooh. Oh, look at that.
And don't forget,
The rice is actually absorbing all the
yeah,
liquids.
that's the beauty of it.
Right. Don't forget the bay leaf.
The bay leaf.
Mm-hmm.
Love.
Yes.
Let's do more chicken.
Oh, look at that. Aren't you sweet?
And then
And then,
we're gonna put a finer chop or like finer slice of the green onion.
and the dill.
A little bit of the dill.
Oh, look at that. Sophisticated.
What I mean, do not underestimate the beauty of a comfort food.
There you go. Do not underestimate the beauty of comfort food, especially when you can cook it right and the recipe is just so simple. This is a winner for you guys to cook at home for today since it's Sunday, right? So again, that's the final result, everybody. Have a good look at that beautiful color. I like, the mixture of, we have the white rice here, we've got the dill, the colors of the green onions, and also the brownish brown color from the chicken. And again, look at that. So can you see that? That's the gravy on the top of the chicken itself.
Yeah.
A little bit of spiciness from the chili. So Cheryl, so thank you so very much. I am going to give another try for this one with the rice that is. Okay, so I'm gonna take this one, the chicken, a little bit of that, and also the chili, and I'm gonna pass the chili for now because it's way too big, and also the rice. Ladies and gentlemen, moment of truth.
Enjoy. Yeah?
10 out of 10. Seriously.
Awesome.
This is superb. Thank you so very much, Cheryl, for this one.
Thank you for
Okay.
having me.
Okay, so guys, again, easy recipe for you guys to do at home on the Sunday. So let's take another short break. So when we return, we still have more from around the world when we come back. Stay with us.